Hi, this video is about monthly limits and increasing them to help you grow your dropshipping business.
Yeah, so as we've already explained in the previous videos, you guys know what seller limits are. It's how eBay sort of makes sure you don't grow too quickly. So as you can see on the screen, here are my monthly limits on this account. Obviously I've got a lot of listing to do, but the point being is to start with, you want to grow as quickly as possible. As you know, you start on like 1,000 items, £10,000 monetary around. Now, if you get these kind of limits, or whichever limits you get, it's always worth trying to list as much as you can very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Calling them up and trying to get an increase straight away off the bat.
We're talking day one.
Day one.
You're watching these videos. As soon as you're all set up, get listed. If you've got under 4,000 items, if you get any more than that, we may actually advise you sort of waiting, because again, you don't want to just go on eBay, spaff a load of items on, and then they're like, well, why are you listing so quickly? But that's why I recommend, if it's anything up to 4,000 or 5,000 items, get them listed, because then on day one, ring them up. We've done this before. I remember doing this when I first started out, and I had a 10,000 account. They actually doubled my
Yes, they can
limits.
double it. So I got quite successful with this actually, and I believe
that was like the king
the best I ever did
of ringing up and getting limit increases.
The best I ever did was from day one. I got it from £10,000 monetary account to 150,000 monetary. So it's possible. Quite a lot of variables do matter. So
insane.
That
is insane, by the way. What he did there, that is amazing. But it get double. By the way, is good. I remember when I got a double, and I went, yeah.
But this is how I did it. So the main reason was because I had an agent which I built rapport with instantly. I was just really, really kind. You've got to remember, guys, these guys work in call centres. Nothing against that, but it can be quite a depressing place to work.
By the way, I worked in a call centre last year. I quit my job. I knew exactly what it was. I worked there for 4 years. And it was that sort of that environment. It can get a bit like...
So straight away on the phone, really bubbly, really happy. Ask them about them. It goes a long way. So
build that rapport.
Yeah. I then said, actually, quite interestingly, that I was doing an experiment for my company to start selling on eBay. I told them that we're a big time seller and that I wanted to take this to my boss, eBay, as a platform and how to sell on it. I said that we would not be interested in starting it at all if the monetary didn't go to over 2 mil. Now, I said 2 mil on purpose because I knew no way were they going to give me 2 mil. No way. And so the guy took that on board. He went, okay, I'm going to talk to my manager. Came back to me. He said, I'm trying to sort this out for you. And he said, maybe we'll have to get a mil for you. And I thought, cool. So I was just like, yeah, okay, a bit disappointed, but okay. I think my boss would consider that if it was a mil. He then came back to me and said, I'm so sorry, the absolute best I can do is 150,000.
And I still couldn't believe that.
And I said, oh, that's really bad. I said, can we not go for 500k? Like, can we not at least try that? He said, absolutely not. He said,
little cheeky ass there.
Yeah, he said, I've already pushed all the buttons I can push.
Yeah.
The absolute tops going to go is 150. I said, you know what? Okay, fine. If we can do that for now, and then hopefully in 30 days' time, because eBay will increase your limits every 30 days if you call them up. So make sure you call them up.
Yeah.
I said, okay, well, hopefully in 30 days then I can call you guys up and we can get it more up to like 2 mil. Yeah. And I think the guy on the phone was a bit like, well, that's not going to happen. But he was just like, yeah, sure, like, let's give that a go.
Yeah.
The thing is as well, they will ask you about your business. They'll ask you, what are you doing? Where you're sourcing your products? What items are you selling? Now, dropshipping is perfectly fine. It's within eBay's policies.
Yeah.
So you can say, hey, I'm dropshipping. But you've got to think about it. Is that what they want to hear? Now, no, not really. That's not what they want to hear. They want to hear that you're a wholesaler. So once again, I just said a little story. I said, hey, I source my products from Alibaba, AliExpress. Also named a few big companies that I was aware of in China. And that's what I said. I said I source from there. We've got the company I work for has a big yard, storage units, and that's where we fulfill all of our orders. And they don't ask you too much. They just take your word for it. They kind of go, yeah, okay, cool, sounds good. That was it.
Yeah. So, with what like Matt said and with the sort of the confidence he had as well when he was on the phone, he kind of thought about this before he went into the call. So he thought about what he was going to say, and because he sort of like a quick 2 minutes of prep, got on the call, and then said all that, and then they gave him those bigger limits because he had that bit of confidence. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. You know, if you feel you need a little bit more help with that, again, you can reach out to us on the support group. But if you go into the call and you don't do that, it's okay if you don't want to go that far, but still just have that confidence. You know, make it come across that you do know what you're talking about. You are serious about your business. They do respond well to it, don't they? To that confidence and sort of when you know what you're talking about.
But guys, don't take me as an example, an example which is going to happen every day. I only managed to do that once.
Yeah.
And I have started quite a few eBay accounts. So it's not like...
And we kind of do them, and we kind of do them at the start. So we do that right at the beginning. Now, when we call up, we just go up and say, we'd like a limit increase, please. Yeah. They're like, oh, what would you like it to? We say the amount, they send it off to a team, and then we get told how much we get. It's not like we have to fight for it every single time. It's just at the start, we want to grow that business as quickly as possible. So you got to just talk to them, say things to them, just like, okay, yeah, this is how I'm a big deal. Let's get those limits up. And Matt is like the king of doing that. He was way too good at it. At the start, I was like, oh, I got 100% increase. Matt comes back, I got about 5 times. Wow.
So the advice really broken down is build the rapport with the agent straight away. And if you feel like you're not getting on with them, simply hang up. Yeah. They can't call you back, so just hang up and call again. You'll get through to somebody else. Yeah. The second thing is consider what they want to hear. Yeah. Okay. Now it's up to you. If you only want to say exactly what's happening, that's fine. They may still take you into account. I'm not saying that they won't, but I just went from a perspective of what exactly would eBay want to hear that I'm doing, and that's what I went with. And third of all, have backup. So explore, just type in some wholesalers. You know, just get wholesalers that you already know of and talk about them. I think I also said Bookers, which I knew was a UK wholesaler. Yeah. So
if I click on here, just while we're doing that, I'm just going to click on request to list more, just so you can all see what we're looking at. We also want to show you how to actually call them as well.
So guys, we've just quickly signed into the course example account. So the dummy account.
So what we're going to do is going to show you how to actually find the phone number. Now, we are now in a position where we can get eBay to call us, and we have like a special number that we can ring because we're in this thing called concierge. But again, that's something that's further down the line. At the moment, when you go to request limits, you actually ring up the team to request limits on eBay. So if you go to help and contact, I think there's a way to get to it. Can you click it? Yeah. Yeah, this might look like, what are these guys doing? We just need to actually find where it says, I think you go to the bottom and it's in, I think you just go down, you go on selling. So you're going to click on selling, follow this. By the way, we clicked on help and contact. You couldn't see it on the top of our window, but it is there. It's at the top next to where it says daily deals, sell, and above customer service, help and contact. So we're going to go on, I think it's on a listing, selling, something about limits. So just keep going. It's going selling limits. You have to go through this to get the number, unfortunately, and then you go all to the bottom of the page. I think it's right at the bottom.
So it tells me what I can currently do as well. And if you're doing this, guys, fill this up before you call them.
Oh yeah, make sure you fill up all your limits. So make sure you get your item number all the way down, or monetary, whichever's hit first.
And the reason why you do this, by the way, is because if you call and you haven't done that, they'll tell you to do that and call back.
Yeah, they'll just say, well, you've not used up all your limits. So if you go to the bottom of the page, it should be callers. Here we go. So have us call you or call us. You can see the wait time there. It's nice and simple. You get through to the team, and the right team that you for increasing the limits. What are they called? The policies team, I think. And then they'll just ask you a series of questions, and then you get your limits increased. If you get them on day one, brilliant. You've done a great job. If you don't, they will just say the standard stuff, which is, oh, okay, you're going to have to ring back in 30 days because you can only get limits increased every 30 days, which is true. However, I do sometimes ring a couple of days early and they go, oh, I can see that you're due an increase in a couple of days.
Yeah, especially early on. So when you guys are just starting out, they're not so strict. I think it's when you get above 500k, they're a little bit more on it with the 30 days. But if not, other than that, just keep calling them.
Yeah. One
of our students, he made it.
He rang every week or something, didn't he?
Yeah, like every 3 or 4 days.
I think it was 2 months. He went from a 10,000 account to something like a 60 or 100,000, something ridiculous. Like in a few months, he got to 100,000 or something.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And he did that so quickly, but just because he rang up so regularly, and they ended up going, okay, you know what? I think they got sick of hearing him. But again, persistence, confidence. He just did it, and this wasn't. I don't think he had that kind of confidence before, but I think he thought, well, I want to make this work, and because he wanted it bad, he went and did it, and he knew that having bigger limits meant being able to list more
You're
more
growing your
growth.
account. It's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
eBay is a snowball effect, as you guys know. So
And the last thing, just before we move on, is there's something called auto increase. Now, you actually, every 6 weeks, you'll actually get sent an email. Now, this isn't happening to 100% of people. For some reason, I didn't get any. Matt got some. The other guys did. Most people do. There's something like 90% of people will get something called auto increase in their limits. Now, you get every 6 weeks, you get sent an email, just say, we've increased your limits. It's usually by 50%. Until you get to a certain point. I think it gets to about the 500,000 mark. And then things start to change after that. But up to that point, it's so nice. You get this email. I was jealous. Every 6 weeks. So it's in between. And by the way, you still get your normal increases. So you get your 30. So you just had your increase. 30 days later, you get your other increase, and in between, you get your auto increase.
Yeah,
so
it's
it
a
kind
nice
of
little
it's a
extra.
really nice boost, isn't it? And you can do some more listing and everything. So
yeah.
look out for that.
So, all right, guys, that's all that you need to know really
Seller
about
limits.
limiting. Seller limits, yeah. Limiting.
Seller limiting. I don't know what planet he's on.
Yeah. Long day. Anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next video.